So, Peter, here's the situation where we are. Just a few minutes ago, they were Peter, they were telling people to leave through those doors, the doors to the stage right, and many of the reporters started moving towards the doors. And then they came out and made an announcement that they're going to be resuming the program shortly. So it's unclear if the White House Correspondents' Dinner is going to continue. Obviously, all the dignitaries, the president is not here, J.D. Vance is not here, the cabinet secretary is not here. Many of those folks with security personnel have been rushed out of the building. Wei Zhang speaking now.
We have an announcement. I know everyone's going to want as many details as possible, and right now we don't have that, but I can tell you that our program is going to resume momentarily. We will have more details to share also momentarily, but for now, please just be patient as we figure out just how much time it will be, but it shouldn't be that much longer. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Shared with us is that the program is going to be resuming momentarily. They'll have more details to share about what happened. She acknowledged that reporters in the room have a lot of questions. There's a lot of discussion about what's going on and a lot of details that are just being passed by word of mouth. Perhaps, Peter, you have more information at this point than I do. I did. So we're told that the program is going to continue. I don't know if you heard Wei Zhang. She made that announcement. You're right. The seal is still on the program. Just a few minutes ago, probably about 10 minutes at this point, they were trying to get all the reporters to leave out of the door behind me. I don't know if you saw the shot, and many of the reporters did. But as that was happening, one of the members of the White House Correspondents Association came out and said that the dinner is going to continue. And then you heard WHCA saying that everybody obviously wants more information. She'll have some more information, but they're getting a signal now that it seems like the program is going to continue, Peter. I am, Peter. It's pretty cool, Peter. I would say the part of the room that emptied out was the room part of the room that was closest to that entrance that they opened and was telling everybody to leave. So all those tables are empty behind me. But if you switch this camera around, everybody is still at the tables to the center and on the left side of the hall.
How well do you hear me? Okay,
I don't know if you saw that, Peter. They were coming through, knocking chairs out of the way.
John,
they weren't real concerned about tables or glasses, obviously. But there was a decent amount of tables and chairs that had been flipped. I only saw one person who was being carried out who seemed to have some sort of leg issue. I don't know if that happened with the Secret Service member leaping over them or leaping on them. But one person was injured leaving, and they were escorted out by a Secret Service member with a gun.
And put it in, so they may be setting the prompter up. No, but here's what you can report. They have turned every teleprompter up in the presidential phone. You can report that.
Still on? Going in and out. I'm not hearing programming anymore. Yes.
Just give me a Pastor John Kroger report, and I'll do it, okay? Richard, will you read it to me in a few minutes?
I'm still with you, Peter. Yeah, I can hear you. So, Peter, so we've turned our camera down around 180 degrees. Before you were looking at me towards the emptier side of the room. You can see behind me that most of the room, most of the reporters and the folks here are still waiting around because of that announcement. The reporters and the folks sitting close to the door, everybody out. Yeah. So, Peter, behind me is the stage, obviously. So this is a different shot of the stage from what you're used to. But as you said, they haven't taken the president's plaque off the podium, and there's been some movement on stage. There's been no movement, I'll say, at the dinner tables. There have been some of the wait staff that has come out and removed the salad course. I don't know if that means they're going to continue serving with the course, but if they're doing that, it's maybe a sign that they plan to continue with the dinner, and we're just watching what happens here. He's back on camera. He's back on camera. Sam, don't go far with that phone. Peter, it's literally a lot of waiting right now, trying to figure out what to do. The reporters in the room obviously don't want to leave. It's just kind of the nature of reporters who want to see what happens. It's a lot of checking phones, checking in with family members, people asking if they're okay, people asking if other people have information. But like I said, there's also people popping some of the bottles of wine that hadn't been opened yet. I think people trying to relax after an obviously stressful time just about 45 minutes ago. Yes, Peter, thank you. No, Peter, it's what the heck is going on. We were talking about it afterwards. I thought a table got tipped over at first. It wasn't a distinct pop, 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 pop. It was more of a bang, 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 bang. I don't know if that makes sense, but it wasn't what I expected. What a bullet sound would sound like. But apparently it happened through the doors and upstairs, so maybe that's part of the muffling from what we heard in the room, which is why everyone's reaction was, I think, a little bit slower. Of is that what we thought it was? There were people. Yeah, it's about 2 stairwells down. You come into the lobby. You saw where our red carpet coverage was, Peter. That same floor is the lobby area. You go past where the red carpet was. You take a left. You go through magnetometers, dogs. I assume bomb-sticking dogs, that sort of thing. We had to go through all of that in the lobby, and then you go down 2 levels, and that's the height of this room that you can see to get to where we are, which is why cell service isn't right down here. But if this happened in that area, it's more understandable why things were muffled up there. And, the people in the back of the rooms, the one closest to the doors, were the ones that reacted first. The doors were open. I saw 1 or 2 people sort of leap over the banister in the back of the room, and that's when people started ducking under tables, and then the Secret Service came in. Hey, I'm here. I just lost it. I'm gonna give you a different set of earbuds. Sure. Okay. Say hi to Wade, and then let's call him. We're gonna call back again on your phone because my battery's gone. Ready? No. Here's the phone number. 202-748-8003. you know at this point and what you've heard?
So what I know is that we were seated on the upper rim of the ballroom, and we heard a succession of pops, it sounded like, an apparent gun shooting. We saw folks get down to the ground, and after those shots rung out, I actually looked at the dais, and I saw President Trump, and he hadn't yet been evacuated. This, of course, just happened a couple of seconds after. It was really quick timing. Secret Service moved to remove him from the room, and then we saw them trying to basically climb over the tables. And if folks can see the room, the tables are pretty close together. People were seated, some on the ground, but really questioning what was happening. It was a confusing time. I talked to some officials down in the bowl here, and they said they actually didn't hear pops. And so it was a lot of confusion. I talked to one administration official who said the first thing that they've heard, they were seated closer to the stage, was the sound of running, not actually the pop. So everyone's kind of hearing something different inside of the room. But you saw the Secret Service agents climbing over the tables, trying to remove the cabinet officials. We saw Secretary of HHS, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. being removed. Marco Rubio, they were trying to find him in the ballroom being removed. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth being removed.
All these individual details.
All of these folks being removed. And I mean, just for folks to witness it, obviously we have these cameras running, but it both felt like it happened so quickly, and also it took a lot of time because of the formation of these tables.
Have you gotten any information more than we've heard from WHCA about this continuing? What we know was the announcement saying this will continue in some way, and we have also heard that the president wants to come back.
Yeah, so we have heard that the president wants to come back. Our sourcing, some say that he is confirmed to come back, some say that he wants to come back. But obviously, I talked to one administration official still left in the room tonight who said that whether or not he does come back because of Secret Service, they believe that he wants to come back because this would now be his third assassination attempt. And this would be a moment for him to be president, show America that he is still here. Of course, the question of whether or not Secret Service wants him back in the room, whether or not it would be okay, whether or not they feel, we've heard that they believe that their threat is neutralized, but whether or not Secret Service feels confident enough to put him back in the room is one thing, but we have heard that he wants to be back.
Peter, I just heard you. You're heading out? Jasmine, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
This mic is not working. Peter said it's not.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we could have your attention, please be seated. The program will resume. Dinner service will begin momentarily. We appreciate your patience. Please take your seats. The program will begin. WHCA will be at the podium shortly. Dinner service will begin momentarily. Ladies and gentlemen, if we could have your attention, please take your seat. Dinner service will begin momentarily. We will have an update from the podium. Please take your seat. Thank you so much. We appreciate your patience.
some of them were removing some salaries. In terms of what the program would be, I mean, I would imagine that the WHCA will try to give some details. She said a couple times that we want to know what happened. We have more information. It seems like the president has to say something. Really, I think they're going to go for the program awards, all the media and odes. I don't think so. I think they want to do something. This is a celebration of personal life. This is freedom of the press and freedom of the press not intimidated by what's happening in the city and what's happening. That is now the priority of Afghanistan. This looks like. Tell them to come to me. Yeah, Peter, I know you talked about the presidential seal on the podium. There was a staff member who just came up and took it off. Look now, I don't know if it's shot correctly. But the presidential seal is no longer on the podium. Perhaps a sign that the president may not be coming back out. He said in that Truth Social post that, of course, he'll let law enforcement make a decision. Maybe that means they made a decision now. But literally, just about 15 seconds ago, someone came up, took that seal off the podium. Again, they made the announcement that the reporters in the room sit down. Nobody really is. They promised that the program
This is a room full of reporters, so I know you've already seen the president's tweet. My apologies, his post on Truth Social. And law enforcement has requested that we leave the premises consistent with protocol. And he wanted to emphasize that nobody was hurt. He and the First Lady, the cabinet, everybody's safe. The president will be having a press briefing at the White House in 30 minutes. That is not a joke. And he insists that we will reschedule this event in the next 30 days. And that he wanted to do it tonight. He wanted to continue despite the news, but has to follow security protocol. I said earlier tonight that journalism is a public service because when there is an emergency, we run to the crisis, not away from it. And on a night when we are thinking about the freedoms in the First Amendment, we must also think about how fragile they are. I saw all of you reporting, and that's what we do. So, thank God everybody is safe, and thank you for coming together tonight. We will do this again. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attendance this evening. We ask that you please leave the building safely. We wish you a good evening. Again, please exit the building safely. Have a good evening.
If there is any members of Congress in attendance, can you please come to the center stage? Thank you. Again, any members of Congress, please come to the center stage. Thank you very much.
He's going to go listen for a second. All right, Mo, he's coming back. Tell him he'll be there. I think they're still having trouble hearing you. Sam, they said they're done with me. Okay. All right, I'm going back to Sam. I hope it works. I hope it works out and that we got my video for whatever it's worth. Okay, it's really difficult. Well, it's awesome. Nice meeting you. Pleasure, guys. you guys. Yes. I wish we had met under better circumstances. Well, so yes, the 250. We've been promoting it, so Peter and I have got a spring book cruise every weekend promoting it. No, missed the book. Tell Peter that. Yeah, do that. I actually don't have one. You usually don't? Washington Post. I don't get to sit down for trying to read this one hour on another again. Well, I chatting with her on the red carpet. ABC News. I will send you the North Trump. Yes. Oh. Right here. That's what we do. And literally, you'll actually get a book. Becker, can you shoot tone to me? Okay, Chris, can you shoot tone too?
Easy. It's a lot looser than my jeans. All right, so you're good for us? All right, man. Thank you. Good. Ali?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Chris.
All right.
Yeah, I put it out to the pool.
Hey, can you stand up, buddy?
I put it out on pool.
Stand right where you would.
I'm inside the White House now. It's not really 1.5 miles. I just reached, as I said, the president just reached a while back. He's inside the White House complex. I'm inside the White House press room now, where there is preparation for.
Chris, Becker, can you?
As I mentioned earlier, he wanted to get back to the hotel.
Okay, mic check's good. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Good? Thank you.
Did you get it? I was backstage.
You're fired. This is what I
Hey, Christian, you got me? Chris, I'll do that. You're good. Okay. I'll send you a phone.
Got it right here. 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing. David Smart. Huh?
Earpiece that I can use?
No. Yeah, I got tone.
Good job.
Thank you. Whatever you did, thank you.
maybe 1.5 miles.
Christian, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. David Spunt. David Spunt.
Yes.
1, 2.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2.
Glad you're
1, 2.
okay. 1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2. Hey, Ouija, nice job. 1, 2, 1, 2. Are you okay? 1, 2. Are you okay? Okay. Good. 1,
I don't
2,
hear.
1,
Should I be
2.
hearing anything?
1,
Okay.
2, 1, 2. You guys good? Everybody good? Yep. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. Everybody good? Everybody good?
We need to spread it.
Everybody good?
Yes, I got you.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1.
Help me out.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Matt Reedy, do I still need to call in? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check. 1, 2. You got me?
I didn't say.
This looks a little wider than this one.
The flag does?
Spread on the American flag. All right.
Should I be hearing programming, Matt? Matt, should I be hearing programming? I think I'm hearing something now. I don't know what. I'm hearing people talking. It's just not programming. Yeah. That's fine.
Peter, is my mic on? Let me check. Is my mic on?
Christian.
There's a box on me.
White House White balance up. 4-5. 4-5. Can somebody hold this for me, please? Mikey, can you hold this? Seriously. I just, you're right here.
Timing guidance, Micah?
5-10 minutes at PPO.
Hold on, Michael. Hold it.
Can you have? Is this a good angle?
Thank you. Got it.
Good.
Thank you. Mike, here. Mike.
I'll go this way. It's live right now.
It is?
Not me, but
Chris, I still should not be here in programming.
Hey, it's Jason. You should be seeing.
I figured they want to take me.
Okay, cool. Right?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I heard that. I hear it raining now, but I would. Yep, yep. One, two, mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mic check, mic check, mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. You got me?
appreciate it. Thank you.
Sorry about that. Yes. I'm not, they think I'm on the north lawn. Tell them I'm in the green room. They might think I'm on the north lawn. Tell them maybe in 42.
I got 43.
Good job.
I mean, John, it's been this huge trouble to even assemble in this room. It's only about half full, and probably this full room and president, secretary, here. But that's because all their orders pretty much were inside this room, were gathered out of that ballroom inside of the window shops right now. And I was thinking about 50 yards away, and when they put it on the front table, those are right. And also the vice president, Katie Mann, at that table. It was actually surprising how long it took them to put that off stage. There was enough time to So obviously a moment like that where he is going on stage is not unfamiliar territory for him. And so in this moment, now that we know that authorities have identified the suspect being out in the road, waiting to see what is the White House. And I just want to
Going back over there. That's great.
Everybody's trying to rush to get I just have no, it's okay. No. You know, it's whirlwind around all the roads. No, nobody will come out. Okay, thanks. Like that?
Yeah, and John, actually, John.
All right, I'm here. Yeah, I do hear you. Yeah. Am I looking at the robo or am I looking at cruise vector? Robo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not you. It's up there. Okay, you're the fool. Okay, I'm looking at the robo. Do you guys see any 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, I see. Thank you, Chris. All right, somebody let them know I'm here. All right, do they want to end? Hey, Matt, you guys let us know if you're here. Yeah. Jason Peter, you got me. Hey, Pat, they know that I'm here from the president. Andrew, I told you. I'm getting it. Oh, you're getting it. Hey guys, we have 2 minutes. Come on.
Yeah, just want to let you guys know because I've been
Two minutes.
2 minutes, I'm taking my ear out. Got everyone there. I'm so sorry.
the president himself was the one who said the suspect has been apprehended by law enforcement. So he'll be out here momentarily, and we'll obviously
Is everybody okay? Yes. Sorry for the hopping over the fence here. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That was very unexpected, but incredibly acted upon by Secret Service and law enforcement. And this was an event dedicated to freedom of speech that was supposed to bring together members of both parties with members of the press. And in a certain way it did, because the fact that they just unified, I saw a room that was just totally unified. It was in one way very beautiful, a very beautiful thing to see. A man charged a security checkpoint armed with multiple weapons, and he was taken down by some very brave members of Secret Service, and they acted very quickly and have just released, for purposes of transparency, clarity, I've ordered it to be put out. You probably have it by now. Put out on Truth and put out on many other platforms. A tape showing the violence of this thug that attacked our Constitution, and also showing how quickly Secret Service and law enforcement acted on our country's behalf. Really did a great job. One officer was shot, but saved by the fact that he was wearing obviously a very good bulletproof vest. He was shot from very close distance with a very powerful gun, and the vest did the job. I just spoke to the officer, and he's doing great. He's in great shape. He is has very high spirits, and we told him we love him and respect him, and he's a very proud guy. He's very proud of what he does, Secret Service agent. And we looked at all of the conditions that took place tonight, and I will say, you know, it's not a particularly secure building, and I didn't want to say this, but this is why we have to have all of the attributes of what we're planning at the White House. It's actually a larger room, and it's much more secure. It's drone-proof, it's bulletproof glass. We need the ballroom. That's why Secret Service, that's why the military are demanding it. They've wanted the ballroom for 150 years for lots of different reasons, but today's a little bit different because today we need levels of security that probably nobody's ever seen before. But everyone owes a tremendous debt of gratitude to the courage of law enforcement, the law enforcement, and working with the D.C. police. And we just spoke with the mayor. And when we're finished, the police chief is going to take over and discuss it also from their viewpoint. But they also performed exactly as they were supposed to. And you see the attacker in different positions, but you also see the attacker totally subdued and under control. So as you know, this is not the first time in the past couple of years that our republic has been attacked by a would-be assassin who sought to kill. In Butler, Pennsylvania, less than 2 years ago, you all know that story. And in Palm Beach, Florida, a few months after that, we came close. We really had, again, we had some great work done by law enforcement. But in light of this evening's events, I ask that all Americans recommit with their hearts in resolving our difference peacefully. We have to resolve our differences. I will say, you had Republicans, Democrats, independents, conservatives, liberals, and progressives. Those words are interchangeable, perhaps, but maybe they're not. But yet everybody in that room, big crowd, record-setting crowd. There was a record-setting group of people. And there was a tremendous amount of love and coming together. I watched, and I was very, very impressed by that. But First Lady and I were taken very well care of, very quickly rushed off the stage. Vice President J.D. Vance, who's here, was likewise beautifully done. He was just saying how quickly everybody acted, law enforcement, Secret Service in particular in this case, but law enforcement. Marco had the same thing. Pete was there. Pete didn't want any help. He didn't want anybody to help him. He doesn't want anybody to help him, but he did get some, didn't you? And I think you also said that it was very impressive. So with that, I'd like to ask Todd Blanche to come up, say a few words, and tell you it's already underway. The man has been captured. They're going to his apartment. I guess he lives in California, and he's a sick person, a very sick person, and we don't want things like this to happen. I think it's very important that I say, though, and I told the representatives of the evening, they did such a beautiful job. It was such a beautiful evening. And again, they're talking about free speech in our Constitution. That's what it's all about, not just White House correspondence. It was really based on free speech in our Constitution. But I said very importantly that we'll do it again within the next 30 days, and we'll make it bigger and better and even nicer. So I just want to thank everybody that was involved. I also want to thank the press, the media. You've been very responsible in your coverage. I will say I've been seeing what's been out. You've been very responsible. So Todd Blanche, I'd like to say a few words, and then we're going to have cash. And then you're going to go on. We can ask, I guess we can take a couple of questions. I want to thank the First Lady that was a rather traumatic experience for her. There was a lot of action taking place up there very quickly. But again, the response time was really incredible. And we're going to reschedule. We're going to do it again. We're not going to let anybody take over our society. We're not going to cancel things out because we can't do that. We wanted to stay tonight. I will tell you, I fought like hell to stay. But it was protocol. They said, please, sir, because they didn't know there was a lot of action going on, and they didn't know could there be probably a lone shooter, but we'll find out. We'll find out very quickly. They have it very well under control. So I want to thank everybody very much. And Todd Blanche, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Tonight you saw the very worst and the very best of this country. You saw the very worst by the actions of that coward that the President just talked about. But you also saw the very best because you saw law enforcement do exactly what they're supposed to do. And you'll see the videos come out, I expect, very shortly, and you'll see law enforcement do exactly what we want them to do. And so I echo what President Trump just said, that we are extraordinarily grateful and appreciative of the men and women of law enforcement that did their jobs tonight, including one who was who was injured. This investigation is ongoing. I expect you will see charges filed shortly. The charges should be self-evident given the conduct, but as you'll hear, there will be multiple charges surrounding the shooting, around the possession of firearms, and anything else that we can get on this guy. The investigation is obviously ongoing and just started. There's federal law enforcement already working on search warrants and doing their job, and I don't want to get ahead of them and don't want to get ahead of the work that they're doing even as we speak. Director Patel and I were just on the crime scene a short while ago, and everybody in this room should rest assured that the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI, Secret Service, everybody's on the scene doing their job. I know that the police chief is going to give an update from the scene as soon as we're finished here, and I obviously will leave the details of what they have learned to him. But in the meantime, I just want to thank everybody in this room for the courage, and I want to thank President Trump for his words, and I promise you, justice will be served. Thank you, Dr. Patel.
Thank you, General. Thank you, Mr. President. The President's absolutely right. You saw the best resolve of American law enforcement because you, Mr. President, inspire them 24/7, 365. You give them the resources that they need, and they know that you have their back. And that is a changing dynamic in this country, and that's why you saw brave Secret Service agents respond immediately, swiftly, subdue and take down the suspect, and safeguard the lives of thousands of individuals at that hotel. Thanks to our interagency partnership with the Department of Homeland Security and the Metropolitan Police Department, the FBI was rapidly deployed onto the scene, took over the evidence response unit, is examining all the ballistics that were found on scene to include the long gun and the shell casings. We are conducting witness interviews as we speak. You will hear from our team on the scene there with the mayor and the head of the FBI field division there. But please know what the Attorney General has just said reigns no truer. You saw the very best of America tonight. The very best unite us at a time of uncertainty, because we have leadership here with the President and the Vice President that backs law enforcement, and the men and women that I shook their hands on the scene today could not have been prouder to show up on scene. And as the Attorney General said, make no mistake, we are conducting witness interviews. If you have any information whatsoever related to this event, 1-800-CALL-FBI, 1-800-CALL-FBI. No piece of information is too small. No piece of information is inadequate. We will evaluate it all. We will also be conducting interviews of those that were there. And if any of those individuals have information, please come forward to law enforcement or the FBI or the Metropolitan Police Department. We will be examining this individual's background thoroughly. That process has already started, and we are going to ensure that he was either a lone wolf actor or anyone else that was responsible. We will analyze all evidence immediately to make sure that we safeguard this country. Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, thank you for your leadership. Attorney General and Homeland Secretary Merlin, thank you for your partnership in law enforcement.
Thank you, Ken. Okay, we'll do a couple, and then we go to the chief. Madam Chairman, I just want to say you did a fantastic job. What a beautiful evening, and we're going to reschedule. Okay. And after that, it's very tough for her to ask a killer question, right? But you have done a fantastic job. Please.
Mr. President, I appreciate it. As you mentioned, it all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
And I wonder, especially because unfortunately you have experience with these sorts of threats. In that moment, when you realized there was a threat and service agents were telling us to get down, can you describe what was going through your mind, how you were feeling in that moment?
That's a very good question, actually. It's always shocking when something like this happens. It's happened to me a little bit, and that never changes. The fact, we were sitting right next to each other, First Lady on my right, and I heard a noise and sort of thought it was a tray. I thought it was a tray going down. I've heard that many times, and it was a pretty loud noise. And it was from quite far away. He hadn't breached the area at all. They really got him. But so it was quite far away, but it was a gun. And some people really understood that pretty quickly. Other people didn't. I was watching to see what was happening. Probably should have gone down even faster. Melania was very cognizant, I think, of what happened. I think she knew immediately what happened. She was saying, that's a bad noise. And we were whisked away along with other people, but we were really whisked away. And again, the performance of the Secret Service and the police, all of the law enforcement, I thought was really good. So it was very quick. There wasn't a lot of time to be thinking because it was a matter of seconds before we were out the door and gone into an area. We very much, and you wanted to too, we very much wanted to continue it because I don't like to let these sick people, these thugs, these horrible, horrible people change the fabric of our life, change the course of what we do. So we held out. You were there. We held out right till the end, but they didn't want to take a chance, and I understand it was protocol. But we're going to be doing one hopefully within the next 30 days or sooner, and I am ready, willing, and able. And I was all set to really rip it. And I said to my people, this would be the most inappropriate speech ever made if I said one. So I'll have to save it. I don't know if I could ever be as rough as I was going to be tonight. I think I'm going to be probably very nice. I'll be very boring the next time, but we're going to have a great event. And you did a fantastic job. Thank you very much. Peter, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. There's a report in the New York Post that this assailant assembled his weapon somewhere on site at the hotel. What do you think about that? And I ask respectfully, why do you think this keeps happening to you?
Well, you know, I've studied assassinations, and I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this where they got them, but the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way. And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughing stock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country, and there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
And after Butler, your team for a while rethought outdoor events.
Yeah.
Do you think that you now need to rethink
No.
indoor
Well,
events?
but then you just don't do events. No, I can't do that. I have to. It is what it is. We have to do it. The room was very, very secure. You know, he charged from 50 yards away, so he was very far away from the room.
And what did you think when you saw the video of how fast he was running?
He was moving. He was really moving. And the reaction time was great. Boy, those guys, they had their guns drawn literally by the time he was there. They were shooting.
That's right.
I thought they were very impressive. And if I didn't, I'd let you know. I'm not going to be, I would not stand for that. No, I thought they were very impressive.
Thank you, President Trump, and thank you for updating us on the
Thank you.
suspect earlier. Were you aware of any threats? Was your team aware of any threats beforehand? And do you believe you were the target of this tonight?
I guess. I mean, these people they're crazy. They're crazy. And, you never know. He was very far away from me. He had to go through a lot. We had resources all over. We had resources sitting at tables, literally in disguise, sitting maybe at your table, who knows? But we had people all over the room, so he had a long way to go. That was really a first line of defense, and they got him. And they really, they acted incredibly. No, there was no notification. We had no idea. Go ahead,
Do you know
Kevin.
any political motivations from this?
Well, you never know. Now, we'll be able to tell you that maybe by tomorrow or the next day. He's in custody, and they're asking him a lot of questions. I guess they're going over, Todd, and they're already at his apartment. He lives in California.
Yes, sir.
And they're over there, so they'll be able to tell you. Thank you, Caitlin.
President Trump, did the suspect say anything, or was he wearing anything that would allege some type of motive here?
No, I mean, he was a guy who looked pretty evil when he was down. They had him down. He was fighting hard. He was, in my opinion, a sick person. Who would do that but a sick person? But I think you're going to find everything about him. No reason to talk about it now. But tomorrow at this time, long before this time, you're going to know a lot of things about him. They seem to think he was a lone wolf, and I feel that too.
Are you concerned about U.S. Secret Service protection ability? We saw several of the detainees take minutes to be escorted out of the room.
No, they acted very quickly. No, I was very impressed by Secret Service. I mean, I'm the one, and Mark Wayne, you would agree with that, I think.
Absolutely.
I'm the one that would complain. You don't have to complain for me. I would be complaining. I'd be up here right now saying they didn't do their job. Oh, believe me, because, you know, it's my life, and I want to live because I want to make this country great. That's why I want to live. But when you're impactful, they go after you. When you're not impactful, they leave you alone. Okay, a couple of more. Go ahead, please.
Is there any indication that this shooting could have been linked to the war in Iran?
I don't think so, but you never know. We're going to know a lot. We have the best people in the world working on it, and we're going to know a lot. Please.
Mr. President, there's a lot. You, as well as some of us who have covered Butler, experienced another horrific day 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What felt similar? You know, you had the First Lady with you today. What felt different? And you have another 2+ years in office. Are you concerned about something like this happening
Well, I
again?
can't be concerned. I can only get great people. They did the job, in my opinion, a much better job than Butler. Butler had one weak spot that we all know about. Somebody should have been up there. But even Butler, we had our sniper on our side within 4.2 seconds from a distance of about 400 yards, one shot, and he was gone. And if he didn't do it, now, you know, he's David. His name was David. I say, hello, David, every time I see him. David, I like you very much, David. But think of that. Now, if he doesn't hit him, and he hit him right between the eyes from 400 yards without any notice, nobody knew. He heard a sound. He looked over, and there was actually a tree that was somewhat in his way. You know the story very well. And he aimed, he fired, and if he didn't do that, beyond me, you would have had a lot more people killed. We lost one great person and 2 people very badly hurt. They're okay now. But no, that was so. In a sense, you know, it was pretty amazing the job they did. But they did have that one weak spot, as you know. They should have had that covered. Tonight they had everything covered very quickly, and he was fast. He was running full blast, and they got him before they got any further. I was very far away. You know, he hadn't anywhere close to breach the doors of the ballroom. The ballroom was sealed, and everybody in there. That's why once those doors opened, they didn't want to do tonight. If the doors weren't opened, we could have probably done it tonight. But I think we're much better off rescheduling. Yeah, please.
Mr. President, for you and perhaps law enforcement as well, what is the level of confidence that this was a lone actor, and has the suspect made any statements to police while in custody?
Yeah, I think it's just it's not my profession. We have great professionals up here and outside that have been working with us. My impression is he was a lone wolf, whack job. These are crazy people. And they have to be dealt with. We had that in the second attempt, as you know, and he's spending life in prison. Because if you let him out, they'll probably, you know, if he serves 10 years or 15 years, you let him out, he'll probably try it again with somebody else. They're sick people. We have a lot of sick people. But you're going to know, I think very shortly, you're going to know, Todd, a lot about him. You're going to know a lot about him. Yeah, a couple of more. Yeah, please, go ahead.
Are you concerned about political violence? This could be politically
All
motivated.
violence. You know, I'm concerned about everything. Look, but I can't be so concerned that you can't function. No, I'm here. It's a dangerous profession. You know, I tell the story. Race car drivers, I think it's very dangerous. So if you take 1% and then take about 10% of 1%, just to break it down very easily, they die. So much less than 1%, 10% of 1%. I think bull riding is very dangerous. If you take about the same, 10% of 1%, much less than 1%. But if you take presidents, it's 5.8%. And about 8% are shot at. So nobody told me this was such a dangerous profession. If Marco would have told me, maybe I wouldn't have run. Maybe I would have said, I'll take a pass. No, it's a dangerous profession, but I don't view it that way. Look, I'm here to do a job. As part of the job, it is a dangerous. I can't imagine that there's any profession that's more dangerous. but I love the country, and I'm very proud. I'm very proud of the job we've done. You see what's happened. We have a great country. We've got, I think, the most successful, the hottest country anywhere in the world. This happened over a period of just a year, and we're going to do great things. But with that come risks. There's no question about it. Yeah.
To that end, I mean, there's been so much political violence, not just aimed at yourself, but at other members of, members of Congress, state house speakers, you name it. Is that just the cost of doing business to do politics in America anymore?
Yeah, well,
what does that say about our country?
Too. We're not the only country. You look at this great violence with all countries. I was talking to somebody from another country today, and they have numerous assassinations of political figures all over the world. You look at South America, it's like some of the numbers are just horrific. It's dangerous stuff, whether it's here or someplace else. No country is immune. No country. Good question.
Turn that temperature down at this point?
Well, probably if I decided to just not do much, if I let everybody rip us off and take advantage of us. Look, we're leading the world in trade now. We're leading the world in the military. We're the greatest military in the world. I rebuilt it in my first term, and now we use it because we have no choice. We can't let, as an example, Iran, we can't let them get a nuclear weapon. Everything will be peanuts compared to that if they ever were given a nuclear weapon, and they'd use it too. Marco and I were talking about it today. They would use it without even hesitation. We can't do that. It was a shame. I said, oh boy, look at the numbers. We just broke 50,000 in the Dow. We just broke 7,000 in the S&P. They said we couldn't do it in 7 years, in 5 years, 4 years. They were saying maybe in 5 or 6 years. And we did it in 1 year. And I called everybody together. I called all of these people and others, and I said, we have to take a little journey. I say to do this. We just had the great number. We just broke 50,000. Wasn't supposed to happen during my term. Wasn't reachable. We did it in 1 year, and I said, we're going to have to make a journey to Iran. They're going to have a nuclear weapon if we don't do it. We had the B-2 bombers take them out. I terminated in the first term the Obama agreement, the Iran nuclear agreement, which was a disaster. That was a road to a nuclear weapon. They would have used it. They would have used it 100%. So, when you do things like that, you become a target. If I wasn't doing that, I guess I'd be a lot less of a target. But I'm honored to be. Okay, one more question. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you, President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. Do you know how the gun was brought into the hotel? And also, how does this event impact you as the leader of our country? Do you think it will change your
I
leadership?
like not to think about it. I lead a pretty normal life, considering it's a dangerous life. I think I handle it as well as it can be handled. I think a lot of other people, you read stories where they become basket cases. To be honest with you, I'm not a basket case. I really take it as it is. I do it for the country. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I have a first lady who's doing a terrific job. She loves the country, and she recognizes it better than anybody. She's told me numerous times. She said, you are in a dangerous job. But that goes along with her, too. I mean, it's dangerous for her, too. We sat there tonight. We heard that noise, and it was either a tray or a bullet. I was hoping it was a tray, but it wasn't. And again, we had some very brave people doing a great job, so we're very proud of them and happy with them. I just want to thank everybody. They will be able to give you all that information as to the names and everything else. I think we released the names already. Most of you would have it, but his name. We appreciate it. I see so many tuxedos and beautiful dresses. It was a little different evening than we thought, but we're going to do it again, and we have a great chairman who we're so proud of, and we have to make it better. We'll make it safer, I guess, right? But we're going to make it even better. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
About how impactful this was. Can we hear from her about?
Well, honey, would you want to say something?
Okay.
One in the back, sir. Millions of people across the globe, in fact, are watching you. You demonstrated courageous leadership, and thank God you're alive. All of us are alive today. What is the message that you want to give to the world that this should change? What corrective measures can we take from here on?
Well, all you can do, look, I don't care how many people you have, how good they are. They can be the greatest people. You have the greatest security in history. If you have a whack job who's got a brain, but it's a little bit distorted or a lot distorted, they can make trouble. I would say, Pete, right? You know, they can make trouble. Some of these people are of genius level IQ, and they're nuts. So it can be trouble. So you do absolutely the best. You get the best. We have the best people. Well, look, it was proven tonight. He started running from 50 yards, and he was fast. He was like a blur on tape. He was moving. It was very impressive the way they got him, because a lot of people would be looking and saying, you know, it's like a weird feeling, and they would let him get through, but they didn't let him get through. They drew those guns so fast. They looked like Matt Dillon. They looked like somebody that knew what they were doing, and we really do. But it comes with the territory. And if you want to do a great job, I really believe that. And you take a look at what's happened to some of our greatest presidents, and it doesn't happen to people that don't do anything. And it's not going to deter me from winning the war in Iran. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I really don't think so, based on what we know. But we're going to continue to do a great job. That's all I can do. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Glad you're okay.
All right. Everybody, guys? Start. Let's check.
Good evening. I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm the mayor of Washington, D.C. I am joined by members of my public safety team and federal law enforcement, including the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, Janine Pirro, the Secret Service Director, Sean Curran, as well as FBI Field Office, Darren Cox. We're here to provide you an update on the incident that took place tonight at 8:36 p.m. at the Washington Hilton at the site of the White House Correspondents' Dinner. At about that time, a sole gunman rushed a Secret Service checkpoint in a lobby at the hotel. Secret Service agents stopped the suspect. An agent was injured and transported to a local hospital where the agent is receiving care. The suspect is also transported to a local hospital where he is being evaluated. The president returned safely to the White House, as you know. We are so very thankful to members of law enforcement who did their jobs tonight and made sure that all guests were safe. We have no reason to believe at this time that anyone else was involved. I want to turn to the Chief of the Metropolitan Police Department, Chief Carroll, to provide a law enforcement update and specifics.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Again, I'm Jeff Carroll, Interim Chief of Police for the Metropolitan Police Department. This afternoon and this evening, members of the United States Secret Service and the Metropolitan Police Department were here at the Washington Hotel for a site detail for the Correspondents' Dinner. As the mayor mentioned, at approximately 8:36 tonight, an individual charged a U.S. Secret Service checkpoint here in the lobby area of the hotel. He was armed with a shotgun, a handgun, and multiple knives. As he ran through that checkpoint, members of law enforcement from the United States Secret Service intercepted that individual. This is a very preliminary investigation at this point. We do know that law enforcement exchanged gunfire with the individual. We do know that a U.S. Secret Service uniformed division officer was struck in his vest. He was transported to a local hospital for treatment. He seems to be in good spirits at this time. The suspect in this case, he was not struck by gunfire. However, he was transported to a local hospital to be evaluated. Again, we're very early in the investigation. We have members of the United States Secret Service, the Metropolitan Police Department, and the FBI here to continue to investigate this matter. But at this point, it does appear he is a lone actor, a lone gunman. There does not appear to be any sort of danger to the public at this time. However, we are continuing to investigate this matter. At this point, I will turn it over to, I believe, the FBI.
Hi, good evening. I'm Darren Cox. I'm the Assistant Director in charge of the FBI's Washington Field Office. The American public should be proud of the quick response and heroic actions from law enforcement officers tonight to keep the American public safe. Their actions are absolutely heroic. The public should also rest assured that there will be no stone unturned during this investigation. The FBI currently has our Joint Terrorism Task Force here on scene, along with our Criminal Division, our Crisis Response Team, and agents from across the country are working on any leads that may come in this investigation. Anyone with tips in this investigation should call 1-800-CALL-FBI. Thank you.
Director Curran.
Thank you. My name is Sean Curran, I'm the Director of the Secret Service. Tonight, we saw exactly what our brave men and women do each and every day to protect our protectees. It's not easy, and I will tell you that they performed admirably. We got to see what they do, and that individual, when he charged a checkpoint, was apprehended. It shows that our multi-layered protection works, and I'm grateful to our partners that help assist us with building these sites and protecting these sites. Very fortunate that this officer is alive, is being observed. I'm grateful that the President reached out to this officer and spoke with him earlier. I ask everybody to pray for him and all of our officers and agents that were involved. And I will tell you, we will continue with the mission. Thank you.
Judge Shapiro.
I'm Janine Pirro. I'm the United States Attorney. Right now, the defendant is being charged with 2 counts, 924C, using a firearm during a crime of violence, and a second crime under 111, which is assault on a federal officer using a dangerous weapon. Now, as you all know, there was an individual, a uniformed Secret Service officer, who was shot, and fortunately, he is doing all right and he will be fine. But it is clear, based upon what we know so far, that this individual was intent on doing as much harm and as much damage as he could. And thankfully, because of the checkpoint right outside the ballroom, where thousands of people were situated to hear the President of the United States, because that checkpoint worked, there was no one who was injured when it was clear where this defendant was going. Now, I want to make one comment. As a participant, someone who was in the ballroom, who came this evening to be part of a very lovely event at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, I, for the first time, was in a situation where there were shots fired, shots heard, and a whole room went silent. When I lifted my head and when I looked up, every law enforcement officer was out there as we all had our heads down, thousands of them. These are the men and women every day who do what they do silently, and they do it with courage and with dignity. Thank God for our partners. The FBI, the Secret Service, the Metropolitan Police, all of them tonight acted so quickly that they prevented what could have been a horrific event where we were all sitting there in one room. The defendant will be arraigned on Monday in federal district court. But make no mistake, there will be many more charges based upon the information that we are learning in this very fluid situation. Thank you.
We'll take a few questions. Right here in the front. Right here in the front.
Can you confirm that this suspect is specifically targeting the president, and is he talking to law enforcement now?
Sure. So at this point, what we know is we know the individual charged the checkpoint with a firearm in his hand. We know he was running in the direction of the ballroom that the president was in, as well as other cabinet members. So what his specific motivation was, we can't say at this point. However, as we continue to investigate that, we'll continue to work towards that.
Chief, when you say there seems to have been a lack of authorization to come to this event. Was this a failure on the Secret Service?
I mean, what we have here is a multi-layered approach. The director spoke about it. We have officers on the outside from the Metropolitan Police Department, along with the escort. The inside portion of any presidential site is handled by the Secret Service and law enforcement partners. This is a multi-layered approach. The point of this checkpoint is to intercept individuals that were there, and what we see in this case is when he reached that checkpoint, Secret Service agents and law enforcement engaged him immediately. They were able to bring him into custody and prevent anyone from being harmed.
Chief Carroll, right here.
Chief Carroll, can you tell us if you found a vehicle associated with the suspect, and are you or the FBI conducting any search warrants either on a vehicle or locations here or elsewhere around the country?
Sure, Mark. So as you can imagine, this is very early in the investigation. So, things we're digging into is his background, vehicles. Those are all things that the FBI, the Metropolitan Police Department, and the Secret Service are working together jointly to determine, is there anything else that's available? So I would imagine as we continue to go through this investigation, there will be additional search warrants and things of that nature as the investigation progresses.
Is the suspect known to law enforcement?
At this point, he was not known to the Metropolitan Police Department, I can tell you that.
Right here.
There are multiple other parties and events happening associated with this weekend tonight. Is there any reason to believe that there will be security concerns at those events? Are there preparations being made locally to protect those attendees?
Yeah, absolutely not. So we have no indication. This is an isolated incident with one individual is the information that we do have. However, we do have additional officers across the city that are giving special attention. We do know there were some after parties and events that are planned that we will be providing coverage for those events.
Yep.
The president said that this is not a particularly secure building. Do you agree with that assessment?
I'm not exactly 100% familiar with this building. I do know in this incident tonight, I know there was a security plan that was developed by the Secret Service that the Metropolitan Police Department assisted with, and I know that security plan did work this evening.
Right here.
Thank you so much. Do you know specifically if President Trump was a target of this attack? And can you speak to their reporting about the suspect assembling a long weapon to get into the ballroom? Can you speak to that at all?
Yes, so as we said before, we do know the president was inside the ballroom. We know there was cabinet members and many guests in there. Who specifically he was targeting at this point, that's part of the investigation. We do know that he was armed with a shotgun when he ran through that checkpoint, so that would look like a long weapon in video.
All right, right here, right here, right here.
Can you clarify, earlier you said there was an exchange of gunfire. Did the suspect fire any shots? And did the uniformed officer, do you know yet which weapon he was shot?
Yeah, obviously we're only a couple hours into this instance, so we don't have that level of information. The FBI's evidence response team is here. They're processing the scene. So as the investigation develops, all that information will be figured out with the ballistics. The ATF is also on scene here with us.
So the suspect did or did not fire a shot?
Sure. So again, it's very preliminary information. We do believe he did. However, as the investigation determines, we'll pull the shell casings. We'll be able to get more information as we review more evidence. We're very early in the investigation.
All right, we can take a couple more right here, and one more over here.
Thank you so much. So the president said that he wants there to be another event within 30 days. Given what happened tonight, do you have any sense of what additional security measures might be put in place to ensure that something similar does not happen again?
Sure. I'll toss it to the Secret Service.
Yep, this is what we plan for every day. So we take each and every case and we evaluate it, and we do site assessments. And that's why we go out and build these sites per what the event is, and that's how we go about our business.
So will there be any changes or added measures given that this did happen?
We're going to have to evaluate this evening.
Thank you.
Chief, is there any indication how the suspect got into the hotel? Was it a guest here? Are you searching rooms here?
So preliminary information, we do believe he was a guest here at the hotel. We have secured a room here in the hotel. And again, we'll go through the appropriate procedures to determine what was inside there. But that is secure. At this point, like I said, we believe he is the only suspect in this case.
Okay, to jump on that question, I understand the multi-approach to security, but to walk in with a weapon of that caliber and get all the way to the ballroom, which is on the lower level, seems to be quite an extraordinary feat. How does that happen?
Sure. So again, I mean, we're very early in the investigation, so we'll have to determine, we'll go through video across the hotel to figure out how the gun got in, how it got down here. Those things will come through the investigation. At this point, we don't have that level of detail.
Okay, last one.
Yes, video appears to show the president falling down when he was being escorted out. Was he injured at all during his evacuation?
No, we don't have any information that he was injured.
Could you clarify how he was detained? If he was not shot, could you clarify how he was detained?
Sure. So law enforcement right here in this very area, they actually tackled him to the ground and handcuffed him.
And how many people are in the hospital?
Can you give us his name?
Not at this time. We will release his name, Mark, once we have all the information. Again, we're still running a lot of things down.
How many people in the hospital?
In the hospital, so we have the Uniform Division Secret Service officer who's being evaluated at the hospital who took a round to the vest, and the suspect is being evaluated, but he was not struck by gunfire.
U.S. Attorney Bureau, are you looking at any terrorism charges?
Well, as the chief just indicated, we're very early in this investigation, but make no mistake, if there is anything like that, we will find it and we will file it.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good question.